Hey y'all, it's Megan and Andy. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend some time with us today. We are slowly but surely getting ready for garden time. And first thing on the list is we gotta start some tomato seeds.
It was pretty funny. Last night I was like, we need to start tomato seeds.
Yeah.
So out of all the other things we've got to do today, we're gonna get this done first.
Luckily it's not a time consuming task.
And we're not starting very many at all
No.
this year.
What you wanna do first?
Well, I'm saving the 4-packs for the ones you only want just a couple of. So
Okay.
the Mountain Prides, let's do them first.
Okay, so here they are. So Mountain Pride tomatoes. I'm gonna tell you the story of Mountain Pride tomatoes. Me and Andy used to, back in the day, sell plant starts. I mean, we dibbled in it. It was nothing like extreme or anything, but we would sell plant starts, and we had a fella come, somebody from around here, old man, and he said, "You got any Mountain Pride tomatoes?" I said, "I ain't never heard of a Mountain Pride." I said, "No, I ain't got no Mountain Prides, you know." Well, he said, "Well, you're going to have to get you some Mountain Prides." He said, "I'm going to tell you what." He said, "That's the best growing tomato there is in this area right here." So, of course, that intrigued our interest because he told us how good they were and how good they put off and so on and so forth. And so we found us some Mountain Pride tomatoes that year and planted them. And well, here we are, what was it, 6 years later?
I was gonna say, you ain't looked back, have you?
Never looked back. So I do know, like after talking to, there you go, after talking to, you know, Greg at Hoss Tools, I think he said the mountain varieties do not do that good like down in South Georgia.
Yeah.
They're not meant for that area. But there's what, Mountain Pride, Mountain Fresh.
There's several of the Mountain series, and
Yeah.
I believe, according to, like, we didn't know this, Greg told us this, but they were developed in North Carolina,
Yeah,
right?
I think so. It was something like that, yeah.
I think that's how it was.
But so they are a determinate tomato, and they put off their tomatoes in bunches. So it's not just a tomato here and there and yonder. You get several at one time. Most of them is about like that, so they're not like a huge tomato, but they're very good. If a tomato's gonna crack, they're usually the last ones to crack. I had one year that I lost every tomato I had except for the Mountain Prides, because I think it had been like a drought and then it come a bunch of rain.
Every one of them busted.
And every one of them busted, and the Mountain Prides were the only reason I even had any tomatoes that year, because a few of them cracked, but not like the rest of them. And so, you know, this is not a commercial for Mountain Pride tomatoes. I'm just telling you, like, I'm pretty dead set that that's what I'm going to plant every year. You know, everybody's got their variety of tomato. Like, that's all I'm going to plant. My papa, he only planted Better Boy tomatoes. That was it. Point blank period. He wasn't planting nothing else. You better not even show him nothing else. And
There's a lot of folks around like that.
and so I'm just very passionate about Mountain Pride tomatoes because they have been good to us. Last year, I guess, was the first year that we ever really had any issues with them getting the blight and stuff like that, but I think that was our fault. And the weather. The weather was terrible on tomatoes, but yeah. So 25 of those, because
Yep.
I use them for canning and making my spaghetti sauce and anything I make with tomatoes.
And also, with them being a determinant, these are going in the raised beds because they'll only reach a certain height. And most of their tomatoes, not all of them, but a determinate tomato most of the time puts on, like, all of its tomatoes ripen close to the same time. Not the same time, but close to the same time.
Yeah, like it'll give you, well, you get 4 or 5 or 6 at one time in a bunch, and then it'll make another bunch over here, and it may be a few days, and then that bunch will get ripe.
Whereas, like, a indeterminate tomato will continue to grow. We have grew indeterminate tomatoes years ago on the back side of the house that got as tall as the gutter on the house.
Yeah.
Like, that was crazy.
We kept it tied up, and Andy kept it suckered and all that, and yeah, that thing,
But
it was tall.
an indeterminate tomato only puts on a tomato here, and then a tomato there, and then a tomato there. You know, you don't get those big old clusters.
Those are also your very flavorful tomatoes usually, though, too.
Well, we got a few of those here
Yeah.
we're going to plant. but they won't be planted in the raised beds.
As far as a all-around tomato for this area here where we're at, we're in Zone 7 in North Carolina. For where we're at, that is by far my favorite all-around tomato. Eating, canning, whatever you want to do with it, I think. Like I said, everybody's got their opinion. So there's my 2 cents.
Now, I'm going to tell you something about starting tomatoes, and maybe any type of seeds. You know, we do them in these seed trays like this right here, but you can literally take you a pot, fill it full of soil, and just scatter the seeds in it, and pull those tomatoes out when it's time to plant them.
That's how we used to do it until a dog dug them up one time.
I was like, what are you looking at?
Remember that? She dug them up, and I kind of like tried to like pat it all back down. And
I remember.
But I had like 3 different kinds of tomatoes in it.
You didn't know what they were then.
I didn't know what.
What was that?
Why is my alarm on at 10:50? I must have accidentally hit that maybe this morning when I got up. Okay, so next, what do you got?
Black Krim. We're only going to do 4 of those.
Yeah.
The darn wind's going to blow us away.
I think every time we sit at this picnic table, the wind's blowing.
It's March. The wind blows every day, it seems like.
So, Black Krim tomatoes. I know a lot of people like the Cherokee purples. These are a dark tomato like that, but I like these a little better than Cherokee purples. I like these just as a plain old eating tomato. I like the taste of them, but they're heirlooms, and with heirlooms come
disease.
Struggles. So we only going. I just want, you know, out of these 4, one of them might make it to make me a tomato.
Here, give me a couple more there. I'm gonna put 2 apiece. And unfortunately, you notice that our Mountain Pride seeds are from Mountain Valley. Hoss does not carry Mountain Pride seeds.
I think he carried Mountain.
He carried Mountain something.
Yeah, but it wasn't Mountain Pride.
The wind's trying to blow my tomato seeds away.
Then here's old hard-headed Megan. I said, oh, gotta be Mountain Pride. That right?
Yep. That's okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, is it?
No. I'm sure everybody's a little bit hard-headed about something. You might be a little bit more hard-headed than most.
These things are old. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
2021. They may not even come.
If they don't come up, it'll be all right.
All right. Let's do red snappers. Now, these are from Hoss. These red snappers are my favorite sandwich tomato. These things on a good year, I'm telling y'all, tomato that'll take up your whole piece of bread. Those are my sandwich tomatoes.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, these are determinate as well. So we may plant these in the raised beds too if we have enough room.
But
we ain't got many of them left.
They have a great flavor. I love the flavor of these.
That's a pelleted seed.
You've got left 1 in the corner. Do you need it?
No.
Fill it in the corner. Or there's like 3 in the corner.
No, I don't need it.
But I think they're a hybrid.
They are. Yep.
But I just really good sandwich tomato. Real good sandwich tomato.
All right. And next is Brandywine.
Another favorite of mine. Oh, we got 2 packs of red snappers.
Yeah, we've had red snapper seeds for a couple of years now. We just, tomatoes, you only plant just a few.
Mountain Prides.
But back to what I was saying about the just planting them in a pot. I mean, back when we used to have tobacco, or back when Grandpa planted plant beds, not when we had tobacco, but when he was still planting plant beds, he'd throw them a few tomato seeds in there too. And I mean, you just go in and we'd call them drawing plants. You go in and pull the plants out of the ground. Yep. I mean, and they'd be some tough, like hard as a rock tomato plants. They ain't like these things like you get nowadays.
Right.
They was tough.
They wasn't so tender.
No, they weren't tender.
Do you remember what kind he planted?
No, I couldn't tell you.
So this right here are pink Brandywines. So we decided since this year on gardening, we're not planting anything we don't need. We were very picky about the kinds of tomatoes that we wanted. And so what you see us planting here, these are top of the list, what I like to have every year. Pink Brandywines, red snappers, black Krims. Though the black Krims, give or take, because they're kind of difficult. And then the Mountain Prides, of course. But pink Brandywines have been a long-time favorite of mine. Again, flavor is unmatched. They have their own taste. They're very good. And they're pink, but they're kind of knotty. Like they're one of them old-timey knotty tomatoes.
Yeah, they're not a pretty tomato.
No. But they get big too now. If it's a good year, that's another one. It'll take up your whole piece of bread.
So we used to have a Brandywine that came up like a weed every year in front of the house.
Yep.
We had one planted there one year, and Brandywine is an heirloom, so it, you know, and it'll come back true to seed as long as there's nothing around to cross-pollinate it. And we let it, you know, obviously you don't pick every single tomato. Well, maybe some people do, but we had a few tomatoes that rotted on the vine and just laid there. Well, the next year we had one come back. And then the next year after that, we had one come back.
2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 years, maybe longer, that we had that tomato in that spot and it just came back
and it would put off tomatoes. Like, we never touched it. Like, I would just walk around here and be like, look, there's tomatoes on that plant.
We didn't stake it up.
We didn't do nothing to it.
We didn't fertilize it. We didn't do nothing. Yeah. It just took care of itself and grew some beautiful tomatoes.
Well, I have to say, I feel like the Brandywines, to be an heirloom, I feel like they're pretty hardy.
They are.
Like, they're pretty, compared to other heirlooms, I feel like they're a hardy plant.
Compared to other heirlooms that we've dealt with.
Yeah, that we've dealt with anyway, yeah.
More hardy than anything else.
I love a good Brandywine. Oh, it's making me hungry. I can't wait to eat the first tomato sandwich.
I need to go water these in, and we'll take them in there and put them under on the heat mat. The good thing is, you know, every single one of these tomato seeds we have is old. So, the good thing is, if they don't come up, all of these varieties, except the red snapper, we can buy up at the greenhouse.
Well, yeah.
You know, so like, if they don't make...
You mean like plant starts?
Yeah, plant starts. Yeah. We can buy plant starts up there. They don't carry the red snapper, but they have every other one we have here.
Yeah.
So, hopefully we don't have to do that, but if we do, we do. But I'm pretty sure that every seed we just planted there is at least 2 or 3 years old. I think so.
The Mountain Prides I think we got last year.
Let's see.
Wasn't it? 25?
No, they were packed for 24.
Oh.
So they're the newest of seeds. This one right here is packed for 21.
All the red snappers are 21 too? I know that Black Krim said it was.
Black Krim's 21, yep. So, yeah, they got some age on them. We'll see.
We've just stored them in the closet in an airtight container, so, yeah.
Pretty much where all of our seeds are stored.
It stays pretty cool in that closet, though.
Yeah, we've not really had problem with them keeping in there so far, but I don't know. That's getting kind of on up there, the ones from 21.
Yeah. Boy, that sun feels nice.
I know. I'm glad to see it finally come out and them clouds busted off.
I know.
All right.
Yeah, you don't got to get this fancy with starting seeds. I mean, like he said, we used to start it in a big tub, or you can start in solo cups. I mean, there's just bukus of ways. But you do want to start them early, I feel like, because if you go to planting the seeds in the ground, it's just, I don't know. Tomatoes and peppers just do better if you start them early. And
I've actually seen people plant tomato seeds in the ground, and it takes, well, for number one, it takes too long to get started with, you know, to start having tomatoes.
Right.
But number two, it's just,
they just don't do good.
It's just not a good idea.
Yeah, they just don't do good like that.
Not saying you can't.
Well, actually, unless they're volunteers.
That's the only time they do good.
If they're volunteers, they have a very high will to live.
I've seen volunteers start coming up,
and it
come a frost, and it don't hurt them.
I know, it don't make no sense.
You plant one out in your yard, out in your garden, and a frost come, it'll be black as ace of spades the next day.
I know, it don't make no sense.
I don't know what it is with volunteer plants, but they're tough.
I noticed that my kale's coming back out.
I know, I noticed that too. I've seen that.
I thought it was all fried, but it's turning green again.
So, you know how we left a bunch of the old peppers laying in the beds out there? We have pepper plants coming up everywhere. Everywhere.
Really?
I bet you we got 1,000 pepper plants coming up out there in that one bed.
We'll see how much they want to live. They probably dead here in a couple nights.
I ain't aimed to do nothing with them.
You ain't gonna dig up one or two?
No.
And try it and see what it is?
I mean, I might save one or two, but that'll be it.
Yeah.
Last year it was all of the Mad Hatters that came back. And that could be what it is.
I was gonna say that might be what's out there.
Yeah, because it's in that bed the Mad Hatter was in.
Oh, I bet it is then.
So it probably is.
I bet so.
Let's go water these in and put them on the mat.
All right.
I believe it's going to end up being a pretty day.
Seemed that way.
Man, you're right though. That sun feels great because it's still chilly with the breeze blowing.
Look here while he's getting ready. We got some baby strawberries coming. Right there's one. But we're supposed to have another frost.
I'm glad that sun's out now though, because when I went up to Grandma's this morning, I tilled her garden. I didn't take a coat with me, and I was regretting not having a coat. This feels good now in that sun.
Mm-hmm.
Man, right there should be good. That soil was already pretty wet. Speaking of that, we've actually had several questions about the Greenstalk. It's Greenstalk. Wanting to know where we got it, what is it? That one was gifted to us by a friend. However,
Thank you, Renee.
However, we have since been in touch with Greenstalk, and we have another one now to put right beside of this one. And if anybody is interested in buying a Greenstalk, Greenstalk was kind enough to give us a discount code for any of our viewers. We have a link to them on our website, and you can get $10 off using code TrueGrit on qualifying orders. So, anyways, let's go take these and set them on the heat mat. And man, our pepper plants are looking really good.
Yeah, they are.
So we'll go check them out too. We're gonna set those out there like that. Now they don't need to be under the grow light yet because they hadn't germinated, but that's where they're gonna be. Yeah, look at them pepper plants. We got a late one right there popping up. And the ground's sort of cracked right there, so there may be another one fixing to pop up there. But for the most part, all of them germinated, except for just a couple. Now, they're almost on when they get their true leaves, those two leaves coming up right there. Once those come on out just a little bit more, I'll fertilize them. And they should really start taking off then. But I'm not going to fertilize them until the true leaves come on them.
But it looks like they're not stretching for light or anything, so that's what I always worry about. So that light must be close enough.
Yeah, that's a powerful light too. The grow lights we've had in the past, the cheesy ones off of Amazon, you had to have them things like right on top of your plants or they would get leggy. And this one's, I mean, they look just like they'd be sitting out in the sun. They're not stretching for light or anything. Anyways, it shouldn't take no time in them tomato seed to be popping up too.
Yeah, they don't take nearly as long as peppers, I don't feel like.
All right. Well, y'all, now we got to go tackle a task that we should have done 2 months ago.
A big task.
Yeah. But I hope we get it done today. I hope we have enough time to finish it, but we're going to go at least get it started.
That's right.
Ain't those apple blooms so pretty? Did y'all know that an apple tree is in the rose family? See, don't those blooms look sort of like a rose? Well, I'm gonna walk down here and get my tractor. I've got to unhook the tiller. And what we're going to work on is mulching Berry Hill. Berry Hill should have been mulched 2 months ago before anything started popping up and coming out. But it just didn't get done. It's going to happen today. At least I hope. I got to unhook the tiller, put my trailer hitch on the tractor, put the bucket on the tractor, then hook up to the trailer. And since our mulch pile is like half a mile up the road, I'm just going to pull the trailer up there with the tractor, unhook it up there, load the trailer up with mulch, hook it back to the tractor, bring it down the road. That's my plan anyways. So, we'll see how that all goes. It'll be the first time I've ever done it quite like that, but I've been thinking it through in my head this morning, and well, that kind of seems like the easiest and most efficient option, I think. I just absolutely love that view right there. I can't wait to see it when I actually get it done. It's getting really close though. But man, I gotta say, just a few years ago, I would have never dreamed that we'd have a barn like this. And now, here we are. We've got a monster barn right behind our house, and it's amazing. It's absolutely beautiful. All right, let's unhook these. It's not gonna be funny if it happens, but I'll tell you what, I was just thinking about something. I can totally see this tiller, when I unhook these lift arms, trying to roll down a hill. It won't be funny, but I'll have to laugh if it does. I hope it don't, though. Look at there, it stayed put. All right, let's go get the bucket. not quite as full as I'd like it to be, but it's running over the sides there where I don't have like full sideboards. I don't know why I didn't think about that, so I can't quite get as much on there as I wanted. However, that's definitely enough to get us a good start. I think there'll be enough on the trailer left to get maybe a little bit more on this area. Then I think I'll just ride up the road and grab me a few scoops with the tractor.
All right.
That blueberry there is about dead. That's one of them that's got hit hard when we had all that rain. So it's just got a little bit left. I thought I'd leave it alone, see if it would grow. Well, may not look like much, but Berry Hill is done. There's just that one spot right there, and I can't easily get a tractor there because it's right in the middle of the hill. So the mulch still looks pretty good on it. So I think I'm just gonna leave it be for now. I'm really interested in seeing how this goes though. It's actually, if I go down with my wheelbarrow and get what fell off the trailer down there, I got enough to cover that spot right there. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm just not gonna do it right now. But I remembered, I got a gate in the hog fence there, and I just come right over and dumped it right off the back side of the fence. This area right here has the thickest mulch it's ever had. Now I've skipped all this because there's strawberries there. Here's another blueberry. But I skipped over all this. I didn't mulch none of this. This mulch is extremely wet. This come out of the bottom of my wood pile, and it does not spread good. So if it spreaded better than it's doing, I would have scattered some up in here. But with as wet and heavy as it is, I didn't want to chance it killing out the strawberries. So anyways, yeah, like I said, that piece right there is all that's left. Everything up in there's done. We've went around strawberries right here. This whole patch right here is strawberries. I've skipped over all of it. I got another patch of strawberries there. All of this is strawberries. Right over there, strawberries. And like I said, this is the patch that I just couldn't get nothing in here to it. So But I am tickled to death that this is finally done. And I know we talked about, we covered our strawberries up and let them push back through. It's already so late in the season, the strawberries are blooming, and I didn't want to chance that, because if I cover them strawberries up and let them push back through, even if it's just a really thin layer of mulch, I'm scared that it's going to mess up those blooms and those new strawberries that's coming. So I just didn't even bother with doing that. But Berry Hill is finally mulched, and probably got the thickest layer of mulch that it's had in a couple of years in the places where I put it. Now, there is going to come a time, these strawberries will probably last me another year or two, and they're probably going to start dying out. At least that's been our experience with them. When that time comes, I need to hit the whole hill with a good layer of mulch before I start back any more strawberries. But for now, I guess it's done about as good as it's going to get. So I've rode over here to my neighbor's house. The pasture that we've had our cows in last summer is like right there on that hillside. They got two more smaller pastures up here towards the top of the hill. And they have told us to bring the same cows we had over here last year. They said bring them on over here to these two little pastures, and we'll rotate them around over here and let them be eating this grass down. Look at what grass. Just look at that. Now, we didn't have cows up here on this part last year. Their nephew had a couple of cows over here. And anyways, he's not got none over here this year. So I've come over here just to check out the fence. I'm going to walk around everything, make sure it looks good. It is woven wire fencing. There's electric insulators there, but there's no wire there for electric. I may end up putting an electric wire around it since my cows are used to electric wire. I'm scared they'll get up against this and rub against it and push it over, because I know how cows are. They like to rub against things. So anyways, I'm going to walk around, check the fence out, see what everything looks like. It has turned into an absolutely gorgeous evening. I mean, it's beautiful out here. Megan has gotten wound up into a video. She's editing a video, and we just finished eating supper, and so I guess it's just going to be me ending this one. So anyways, I'm going to walk around, get this thing checked out, make sure everything's good with it. Hopefully in the next couple of days, we'll bring the cows over here to this pasture. And anyways, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like we always say, hope you might have learned a little something, and we'll see y'all on the next one.